The final set of Wave 1 of the LEGO Avatar line here is set number 75574, Toruk, Makto, and the Tree of Souls. I don't want to make these names easy on us, huh? The only set that has over 1,000 pieces, sitting at 1,212 for that matter. There's some pretty large builds here. It includes unfortunately only 4 minifigures, and this sets you back a pretty crazy and tragically expected price of $260 here in New Zealand. I bought mine at 20% off. The quick overview here is the Tree of Souls, obviously, the largest expansion to Pandora across all of the sets, and a build for the great Leonectrix, also known as Toruk. Now I know for a lot of people this set is stellar and the absolute standout of the theme, but the price, rightfully so, scares everyone away. I can't disagree with either point. I love the builds here the most, and I think that this whole beast is stellar, but I prefer spending this much on one big collective build rather than a conjoined group of medium builds. So we'll talk about the tree first, since this is the most unique build out of the entire wave. LEGO's no stranger to tree builds at this point, and this follows some very familiar patterns. I really do like the inclusion of the special roots that allows physical contact from Awa. If you bought the Site 26 set, then you can recreate Jake's link to the Na'vi at the end of the movie. This is actually a big reason as to why it's disappointing we don't have Grace's avatar as a figure. It's a really sturdy climb up, and I do like how they've captured this bend in the tree here. All of these branches have these very pretty pinks, and here's a close look at what each of these branches look like. The build is pretty repetitive though, fair warning for newcomers. As expected, it feels pretty fragile, but I haven't actually had any issues with the display as of yet. Lots of these translucent pretty pinks. I love this overall. I think it's absolutely nailed its design and its display. The Pandora builds are quite special as well. We have these 2 small builds that connect as little extras on the sides, and a large mountain exterior. Like other sets, these small builds feature some very unique plant life, like these here tentacle things. Good articulation on these, and like other builds, some upside down plant life features are a nice touch. Our other small build is just as colourful, with these darker red wing pieces and some more bright pinks and purples. If there was ever an Avatar set to use these colours, it's in this one. It's more simple than the other one, but these small builds aren't the takeaway. It's this giant thing here, which does look appealing, but once you start investigating you realise that it's mostly just a vanity piece with not a whole lot actually going on. It's the tallest Pandora build and possibly the most detailed, but it does lack that depth that the other Pandora builds have across the other sets, figuratively and literally too, because this is just a facade exterior and it's actually quite thin on the sides. It reuses a lot of the same colour schemes that we've seen before, so we are sticking to a theme here, which is nice, and it does help to bring out the best of the other builds once they're all connected together. Some exposed studs around some areas is a bit of an eyesore for some, I imagine, but it doesn't bother me much. Up top we have those really nice translucent parts that make it look as though this mountain part is floating. It's quite small though, even for a display. We've seen better across the other sets. Toruk was one of my absolute favourite parts to build of the theme, especially after building these Banshees. Toruk uses some really nice changes to the builds. His head mold is killer. I love this large blue fin and the Darth Maul colour scheme throughout. The neck is that tube piece, so there's no movement from here to go up or down. The lower neck is the one that has to do all the articulation. Restraints like this do bother me on LEGO builds, so I would prefer that this was a bit different. It seems as though he'll be perpetually staring at his feet. I hit the camera occasionally here because he's just such a large build. The pattern in stickers is amazing, even if they are stickers. I really love the matching patterns that this has to these wing pieces. The skeleton of the wing is built in a way that actually allows for some bends even in the wing's material. Holding this position naturally over time would do some damage towards the wing, but in short playable functions I can see that this would do wonders to the toy. There are many posable features throughout the entirety of the wing. There's lots of articulation here and I really love those features. Small feet but large legs actually do allow them to hold the weight of the beast entirely and easily. I love that this thing can stand on its own without the use of his display. As mentioned, the small mountain at the top of Pandora is where Toruk is to sit and watch over the people. This looks really cool. 4 figures are included in the most expensive Avatar set. They are solid enough though, but they're not the highlights of the wave for sure. We get another Jake Sully. The set is named after him, of course, as he is now Toruk Makto, the Na'vi who is able to bond with Toruk. He features some war paint, which means no sparkles in the face, and I do really like his print of his chest piece. He does reuse those same legs from other characters, though, literally in this very set as well. Neytiri is great, as I have said in prior videos. She might be one of my favourite LEGO minifigures now. She has some very nice simple details and is basically the exact same as the Banshee figure, but she doesn't include the tiara this time. Unique figures time, baby! This is Sute. He is the next leader of the Na'vi and Neytiri's future husband. Ooh, better known to audiences now as MM from The Boys, believe it or not. I do really like this figure a lot. I'm very glad that we got some extra side characters for the Avatar line. His scarring is very distinctive for him, and he features a brand new chest piece. He does reuse those same hairpiece and legs though. Moat is the spiritual leader of the tribe and Neytiri's mother, so it's basically a Neytiri set overall with her husband, her supposed husband, and her mum. Older expression, which is appreciated within these Na'vi figures, and she wears one of the more distinct outfits of the line. Unfortunately, LEGO did not continue this print on the sides here, so it looks very goofy in my opinion. The dire horse in the background is here as well. It's the same one from the Site 26 set. Overall, I totally agree that this is one of the best Avatar sets, but to justify that price, it completely depends on who you are as a person and your feelings towards the line. There are tons of other sets from LEGO that are that price that I just laugh at. Hell, the Star Wars Justifier is around the exact same price, and I have no desire to get that ever. There's a couple of things that hold this back for me though, especially mainly in the figure selection. This should have included a Grace Augustine as an avatar for this price. I would have liked to have also seen Neytiri's father as well. I think he would go hand in hand with her mother being here. It's just a little weird to me that a set that costs $100 less than this actually features a lot more minifigures, a lot more desirable, unique minifigures at that as well, and it's a lot easier to justify that price for that reason. Maybe the Na'vi figures are expensive, who really knows? I actually think that Toruk here should have been removed from the set and instead be sold on his own as a little $40 set or less. Thankfully, Avatar 2 is providing us with many cheaper options of sets, and I can't wait to get my hands on all of those. If you enjoyed these reviews, be sure to watch our others, and remember, liking and subscribing helps support out our channel. We appreciate all of the support that we're given. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you in the next video.